Hi everyone, welcome back to Have a Beer with Erik. This is review number 21, and for today I have another crowler. This is Bay City's Swell Coffee Pale Ale. The name comes from the fact that Swell is the name of the coffee company that they got the coffee from, and I got to check out this brewery on Sunday. I went with a friend over to Modern Times in Point Loma, and from there we walked over to Bay City since I had never checked out the brewery. Um, at the time that we went, it was kind of it was a bit like empty, but there were still a few people there. There were a couple of ladies that they were having a lot of fun, so it definitely has a nice atmosphere. I had a flight there. I had a Pilsner, hazy IPA, the coffee pale ale, and a coffee stout. And this is the one that I enjoyed the most, so I decided to bring a crowler and just so that I can show it off to you guys. So filled on Sunday, the 24th. It's 6.0 ABV. And then so we have here at Bay City Brewing Company, we pride ourselves on brewing unique and delicious craft beer for everyone to enjoy. Brewed between the Bays in San Diego, California. And so that's pretty much it for the label. And yeah, this this brewery has been kind of eluding me for a while. You don't really find it often, and I just I've gone to Modern Times so many times, and I've never walked over to Bay City before. One time I actually parked like right in front of the brewery, but they were closed by the time that I was leaving, because I went there around noon, and I think they opened at like 3. It was like on a weekday, so yeah. All right, let's crack it open. Cool, filled to the brim. Actually, like, yep. Oh, there goes that. Won't be needing this anymore. First time this happens. Alrighty. I hope this is not a messy pour, since I'm not the best with crowler pours. But alright, let's go. There we go. So we have about a finger of head, and it was a little messy, but I've had messier pours, so I can smell a little bit of the hops in there, and also a bit of the coffee. So it's a mostly coffee now. Actually, it's from when I had it. It was a pretty nice balanced beer. Today for my glass, I'm using a Libby Pub pint glass. Um, I have so many types of glasses, and I want to show off as many types as as I can, just to show you guys how many styles of glasses there are. So on the nose, we have lots of coffee, but it's not kind of like the coffee that you get out of a stout. It's like hints of coffee mixed with a little bit of hops. You know, the coffee feels kind of like light. It's it's not heavy. It's um it's not too rich in flavor. It's just or in smell. It's um it has a pretty light aroma. All right. Well, time to taste it. Cheers. Mm. So you get a combination of like coffee, a little bit of hops, and a bit of the malt character of the pale ale. Um, I think the malts and the hops are very balanced together, so you don't get either one like too dominant, and then the coffee also brings its own input. So you have like a light roastiness to it, thanks to the coffee. Just like a little hint of chocolate too. Just I like some roast from the coffee ends up tasting kind of like a little chocolate, like just a bit of chocolate notes. But yeah, like I said, I really enjoyed this beer when I had the flight. I wasn't a big fan of the hazy IPA that they had there. I like the Pilsner. This beer was really good, and then the coffee stout was really nice as well. Um, the I'd say that this one barely had the edge over the coffee stout in that flight. So the coffee stout had like richer notes of like chocolate. It's the breakfast at Coco's. It's um, just uh, like a thicker mouthfeel, chocolate and roast and a lot of coffee. But and this is more like a medium bodied. It's light coffee, very small hints of chocolate, and then you have some malts and hops. So it's pretty cool comparing two beers that are very different styles, but they both have the same. I believe they both have the same coffee, the Swell coffee. So it's cool to see how different the coffee feels in pale ale versus a stout. So um, I think that's why I ended up enjoying the pale ale better. I think it complemented the beer a bit better, and and it's nice that it's not too hoppy because otherwise it would be clashing with the coffee. So I think that the fact that this pale ale is a very balanced pale ale and it's not a hoppy pale ale or maybe an IPA, it tastes really nice. The You can definitely get a bit of the malt character towards the aftertaste, and it's a pretty refreshing beer. Um, Even during the summer, like even if it's or a hot day, you don't think of a coffee beer for a hot summer day, but when you have a pale ale that with coffee and you get like some really good notes of coffee without having a dark beer. So and it has a good carbonation, a light mouthfeel. It's 6.0%, so it's very easy to drink. Um, I think the stat was around 7%, and I mean I wouldn't mind that either. Personally, I can drink any beer at any time, but I'd say that for now that we just started summer, like end of July or end of June, this would be a good beer for outdoors. I'd say like I would definitely recommend it to somebody to drink it, um, like on their backyard or something like that. But yeah, this past weekend I ended up going to four different breweries. On Saturday, I went to Bolt Brewing in La Mesa and Helix also in La Mesa, just to catch up with one of my friends. And then Sunday, I went to Modern Times in Bay City with another one of my friends, also to catch up. I haven't seen either of them in months, so it was pretty cool to bond over beers. I had a couple of flights at Helix because they're so cheap. I paid $14.75 for two flights, which was a total of nine tasters, and so it's a pretty good place to check out. Their beers are really good quality, and I mean the tasters are pretty cheap, so I would definitely recommend you guys to check it out. At Modern Times, I had four different hazy IPAs or hazy double IPAs. Um, I think the standouts from that flight were the Mortal Cloak and the Time Wave Zero, both really nice hazy IPAs. I think probably because I went from Modern Times to Bay City, their hazy IPA at Bay City wasn't as good. It tasted a bit. It had like some harsh bitterness to it, so that was my least favorite out of Bay City's flight. And then so this one was my top, and then the coffee stout, and then the pilsner, and then the hazy IPA, which is very interesting order because usually pilsners will be like the last ones that I'll like, but you never know. But if you guys have never had a coffee pale ale or a coffee IPA, I would definitely recommend trying this one out. It's not too heavy into coffee. It's not bitter like an IPA. So definitely has a good amount of both flavors from a regular pale ale or just from a coffee, just from regular coffee, and it has a really nice balance. Um, this could be a good way to start drinking either coffee pale ales or coffee IPAs or maybe even stouts or coffee stouts because a lot of people just taste coffee out of stouts even if they don't have coffee. So this could be a good lighter way to start going into those beers. But so for the rating, I think I would give it around probably a 4.25 out of 5. Um, it's a pretty nice beer. It's nothing like crazy good, but it's definitely a very solid. I would say a pretty good go-to beer. I would definitely have it more often if they were closer. I don't go to Point Loma that much, anyways. So maybe I mean, and the crowler was pretty cheap. It was $11 for the crowler. It's $10 if you just get the growler fill. You pay $1 extra for the this can, but I mean $10 for the 32 ounce of this. It's pretty good. It's a nice price for a crowler. So definitely recommend you guys to check it out. And it's walking distance from the Valley View Casino Center, so you can go pregame there and then go to a concert or a hockey game or something like that. And it's great. I believe they have pregame parties there, so definitely check them out. All right, that's it for today, and I'll see you guys next week. Cheers.